examples?
I want to tell you at least half of the lock drill requests we get, we show up and we don't need to even drill the lock. So we get to
There you go.
without drilling it.
Without compromising the actual.
Initially, we try to figure out what's the issue and can we open it without drilling the lock. And I want to say 5 out of 10 we do.
Hello, everyone. We have ATM Geeks today. We have Nick and Bruce. They've been, I've known them both for a while, and they are great people to do business with. If you guys want to tell us something about ATM Geeks, go ahead and introduce yourself, Nick, and tell us about your business.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm the founder of ATM Geeks. Basically, we are a nationwide field service company. We cover the entire US and Canada. Initially, we started working on ATMs. Now we've expanded to smart safes, kiosks, FI installs, de-installs, and also we just started doing some installs for air machine companies. Did I miss anything, Bruce?
No, great introduction, Nick. Like Nick said, just to re-emphasize, we are nationwide. As our name says, we started in the ATM business, but now we have different lines of business on equipment that is similar to ATMs, like Nick said, smart safes and kiosks, which are markets that or hardware that's being deployed throughout the US at quite a high rate at the moment. People are getting quite creative with the kiosks. The chains and the quick service restaurants really like the smart safes as a way to reduce time when the cashiers are checking in and out. And they've also found that it's reduced theft. So it's there's a lot of smart safe deployments going on as well.
So what is that you guys do? Do you guys sell the equipment? Do you guys are distributors? Tell us a little bit about that. I know what you guys do, but I want you guys to tell the public, right?
No, we don't sell any hardware, and there's a good reason for that. We don't want to compete with our customers, so we're solely providing service to the hardware that's out there. So when we go and service your ATM, there's no, you're not going to be concerned about us poaching any of your customers because we don't like I said, own or operate any hardware.
So how do you guys got started, Nick?
So I owned a ATM ISO for a little over 12 years. It was called United ATM. I sold that business a little over 2 years ago. And throughout our operations, we did do field service work. And the buyer backed out of purchasing the service side. So I kept it. And basically, that's when ATM Geeks was born. And we expanded our coverage.
What gap did you see in the service market?
What gap? Basically, some of the big service companies seems like they're not very responsive or they don't show up when they're supposed to. And at times they have techs that were not really trained properly to work on ATMs and other equipment. So we have pretty good technicians out there and we show up when we're supposed to and we provide the statement of work and the pictures the client requested right away.
So why is this service important to independent operators? Because I'm an independent operator and stuff is important for me.
So there's different reasons why you would work with ATM Geeks. A lot of the independent ATM operators or ATM deployers, they start out in their home market, and then they run across a small chain and find a small chain. But some of the chains have the stores outside their typical service area, and they want to maintain the same level of service that they've been providing. So they work with ATM Geeks to allow them to service larger service areas, and even going into the next state. We're already there, so we can help with the service, the installs. Anything related to the ATM life cycle from the time it's installed to the time it's replaced or removed, we can work with you. You also don't need a full-time technician all the time, so you're basically paying ATM Geeks. You sort of become an employee on a part-time basis, so that you only pay for when you use us.
What is the right size of customer for you guys? Is it based on terminals? Is it based on usage? Tell us who's a good client for you guys.
Everyone. Yeah. Our business is scalable, so we work with smaller ATM operators, and we also work with the larger deployers working on doing their installs and service work. So, it doesn't matter whether you own a small fleet or a large fleet of ATMs. We can support you in your service needs.
And because of the experience that you both have, what would be a challenge that a larger deployer could have and a challenge that a small deployer could have in your experience?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, a lot of the times when people sign service agreements or new customer agreements, they have a small window of opportunity to get the ATMs actually installed, and that's where we come into our own. It doesn't matter whether it's one ATM or 400 or 500 ATMs. We'll take the project and we'll get them installed within the short time frame that you typically have. And a lot of it, it might not be even contractual. It's to obviously get the ATMs in there as quick as possible, so they start transacting, and you start so the revenue stream starts coming in for the ATM deployer.
So time and speed is very important for you guys to deliver to your customers.
Yeah.
Good. What other core services does ATM Geeks provide?
Do you want to say this one, Nick?
What other core services? So we discuss field service work, installs, deinstalls, programming. We can pretty much drill any ATM, any lock, armored or not armored locks. We have relationship with few armored companies. If some of these smaller deployers, the location is not within their reach to load cache, we can dispatch armored to load cache. What am I missing, Bruce?
So anything related to ATMs, we wrap the ATMs. Some of the banks like their ATMs cleaned on a regular basis, so we can provide the cleaning services going out on a schedule, at a frequency to be determined, to make sure that the ATMs remain clean. It's pretty important that they do you do keep your ATMs clean, because if someone goes into a convenience store and sees a dirty ATM, they're probably like, why am I going to use that ATM? Whereas if it's nice and clean and even got a nice colourful wrap on there, so it stands out in the store, it can help with increasing transactions and visibility within the store.
So anything to create more production.
Yes.
How does your nationwide technician network reduce downtime? Because I want my ATMs to be flowing. I want my ATMs to be working.
Well, if you think about it, if you're 8 hours away from one of your ATMs, you've got to drive there. The chances are you're going to do it next day, and then you're out of. You're basically focusing that one day to servicing that ATM. Where we've got technicians, across the US and Canada, which we can dispatch, and we still have the same restrictions on the driving, but if you've got one within 25 miles of one of our service techs, we'll be there within 6 hours. If it's sort of 25 to 50 miles away, then typically we try and get there in 8 hours. And then if it's over 50 miles, we're probably going to be next day, just because of the drive times.
That's excellent. So, we had a little conversation before we started recording about preventive maintenance. Tell us about the preventive maintenance that you guys offer.
So, first of all, preventive maintenance is important because it allows you to go in there and clean the machine, inspect the machine, and make sure, that all the everything is working correctly. Maybe you've got something that needs to be replaced. It's going to last, maybe a couple more months, but you can get the part ordered. You don't need to overnight it. You can get it sent ground, and then when you're next out there, you can have the technician install it, so you're not making a special trip. But it's a lot better to be ahead of the curve than it is to wait till it breaks down and you need a part, and then you wait. Like I said earlier, you're going to be overnighting the part, so that's additional expense that you don't need to incur. The other, I mentioned this earlier as well, also cleaning your ATM. Part of the preventive maintenance is actually cleaning the ATM so cosmetically it looks good. cleaning the card reader, so you don't get the fallbacks where you can incur penalties from the processor. So the idea is that you can do on the preventive maintenance. We can go from one machine to another machine that are in close proximity, so you minimize drive time, keep the cost down. So we're minimizing the drive time, keeping the cost down, and then maximizing the uptime. So we're preventing any of the hopeful issues that would occur because we've already rectified the problem.
That's excellent. And because this is across different states and different regions, how do you stay consistent?
So we track all the service calls that we do. We have statement of works that each of the technicians are given, so that whenever they go to an ATM, they know the 20 steps that they've got to complete while they're there.
Yes.
We also have them take lots of photographs, so we can see the befores and the afters, and we can make sure that, something as simple, this might seem minor, but just making sure one of your decals is on straight. It stands out in a picture. And I'm just one of those people who don't like that. So technician go back out. OCD, yeah. So you just have the technician go back out and make sure it's straight, and it makes them accountable for for the work that they're doing, which allows us to maintain quality control, so that when we send one of our technicians out to service a machine, we know that the level of work is going to be excellent. And if anybody wants to, if my customer wants to see the pictures, they can. We're very transparent, so that they can be pleased with the work as well.
Oh, that brings another question too. How do you vet the technicians?
Well, we have a team of what we call project coordinators. Part of their job is before they close out a call, is to go through through a QC list, make sure that everything was completed, and that the pictures show that the work that was done.
Good. So is that how you offer tracking and reporting? Like if I get to hire you for a job in Wyoming or anywhere?
Yeah, we through our CRM, we can track the calls. We know obviously who did them, when they were done. Basically, whatever detail you need, we can provide.
And because let's say I have not seen this ATM that is in Wyoming, are you guys just looking at fixing what I asked for, or do you guys go and see if the ATM is under compliance?
Yeah, of course, we check to see if it's under compliance, especially ADA. Sometimes a client we set up an ATM, and then the client puts an ice cream machine right in front of the machine, right? So
yeah.
That's basically a no-no. Someone with a wheelchair can't pull up to that ATM. So we report any other issues.
Or the machine that doesn't have stickers that it should have stickers, that kind of deal.
Yeah, and that's the importance of the photographs as well, is that with that quality control, we've got two sets of eyes on it, if you will, so that we can report back and say, hey, Franco, you need to get your fee notification decal on this machine. Otherwise, or the card reader's not working properly, it's not doing EMV transactions, etc. So we can actually report back to you, so you know that so we can work with you to resolve that issue as well.
I guess this moment we're already past the EMV needs that we needed to be under compliant, but now we face the NFC. Do you get a lot of phone calls right now asking for NFC, or we're not there yet?
We are taking phone calls, and it's actually interesting because with the NFC it's less touching the machine, so it can help increase your transactions. The biggest challenge we're seeing really is the IADs trying to say, is it worth the X $100 to install the NFC on these ATMs, or do the other consideration is what's the life expectancy of my current ATM, and should I go and purchase a new ATM that's already got the NFC, it already operates on NFC.
So do you get a phone call from a financial institution to upgrade, or they just replace the equipment and put a brand new machine?
Honestly, it works both ways. Some will upgrade and some will replace the machines. The good news is we can do both.
There you go. So Nick, since you've been quiet, what's the feedback that you hear the most from your customers?
We've been getting pretty good feedback. Again, if we show up on time on the day we're supposed to, we get the job done, the machine is up and running, we test it, get it ready for cash load, and we fill out the statement of work and provide the pictures they requested, they're pretty much happy campers.
That's very simple. As simple as that. As long as you do your work, everybody's happy. Why is ATM Geeks a scalable partner for me? Tell me that. Help me understand. Why can you guys help me scale?
Because we're already nationwide and local. So it doesn't matter where your ATMs are, Franco. The chances are we've already got a technician pretty close to wherever you want to go in the US or Canada.
I was expecting you guys to tell me if you're looking into buying a route, let's say in New York, it's that I will come to you guys first and say, hey, do I have a team of experts that can help me? Yes, you guys are there.
And that's exactly right. If there's a lot of acquisitions taking place, and that is one of the considerations when you're purchasing is how are you going to service the equipment, and you can give us a quick phone call. You can email us or go to the website and submit a question. Most of you have probably already got Nick's and my cell phone, so just call us direct.
There's a lot of people that are going to listen to this that don't know anything about the industry. So I guess it's more, if there's somebody that wants to start in this business, they know that they will have support by contracting you guys and knowing what's going on.
Yes.
Correct, yeah. Just and the easiest way to get hold of us is go to the website. You can go to atmgeeks.com, go to service@atmgeeks.com, or you can call us. And Nick, sadly don't have that number memorized.
Oh, neither do I.
We'll find it. We can put it on the notes.
Yeah, the 800 number is on our website, and
it's 844 ATM Geek.
Yes, it would be good for new customers to go to our coverage area to see where we have techs. And our pricing is very transparent. We have our install, deinstall, first line, second line pricing posted per zone.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about kiosk and smart safes. Are you getting a lot of requests for that? And who's a good customer for you guys on that market?
So we're working with Armored Safe at the moment, and we've been doing some installations for them. We've had a couple of service calls as well, and that's actually an interesting story. So it's a fairly new relationship, and so we hadn't done any service for them, and we got a call one Friday afternoon about this machine, this safe that was down, and it was a Halloween, and now I know why I remember this story. So we take the phone call and we reach out to our tech, who says yes, he can get out there, and they said, well, the main board's on site, and so you should have everything that you need to resolve the issue. So we get out there, and the main board's not on site. And so we call into their tech support, and between our technician and the tech support people, they're actually able to get the smart safe back up and running, which actually saved the customer about $1,000 because they didn't need that main board anymore. So that's anyway. That wasn't your question. Sorry, that story sort of was a good representation of how we work with our customers, even on the holidays, so they can take care of their customers. So
being transparent too.
Sorry.
And being transparent too, and just telling the customer this is what needs to be done instead of a bigger expense.
Yeah, we don't make any money on the parts, and basically you're paying for our time on site. So we want to work with you so you can get full value for the money that you're spending. But going back to your original question, so smart safes is something that we realized was something that could parlay off the ATM's technicians' skill sets, because basically it's the same thing. It's anchored down. It has some form of communication and a keyboard and a dispenser. So it's very, very similar to an ATM. And, for the IADs who are listening, it's another opportunity when you go into your customers, and you can start talking to them about smart safes and how it could benefit them, and then you've got an additional revenue stream from that customer, and they become reliant on you to make sure there's cash flowing in their store. So it's a way you can add value of your services to your customers.
And for the new listeners or the listeners that are not familiar with this, a new term that you mentioned there, what's an IAD, Bruce?
Oh, it's an independent ATM deployer.
There you go. There you go. I think you have given us a lot of information and stuff that we can ponder on and stuff that we can see the value of having a partner away from our area. Where do you see ATM Geeks in the next 5 years, Nick?
In the next 5 years, hopefully keep growing and hiring more techs in remote areas that we don't currently have or we're lacking. I mean, we do get a lot of service calls that our techs need to drive 3 to 4 hours each way. So one is covering those remote areas, building more relationship with different armored companies to provide cash in different states. We do have shared liability with a few armored companies like Garda, Imperial, Sectran. So basically, if there's a bill jam, we don't need to have a tech call with the armored company. So we can get in there. We do have the Cobalt lock and SNG lock software at our office, so we can provide the open code to the tech. So basically, the ATM company just pays us to show up. They don't need to also pay the armored company to be there.
So one point contact.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys fear any AI improving notifications for us or making the parts better?
I think over the next 3 to 5 years, AI is going to be able to take is going to be significant in the ATM industry. You just think about AI and the analysis it can do on the ATMs and just monitoring your ATMs for you. It can learn the paths that, okay, this ATM only transacts on Fridays and Saturdays, or, this ATM hasn't transacted on Monday and it should have done on average 5 transactions by now, and it can send you an alert to say, hey, take a closer look at this one. The ATM might be down or something's going on with the ATM, so you can proactively reach out to the customer and see if anything's going on, or you can go on RMS and reboot the ATM. But even better, AI should be able to reboot the ATM for you before it actually sends a notification out. So I think for our industry, it's going to be a major step forward to increasing the uptime on ATMs and having a better experience for the customer, and also reducing the staff that you need to monitor a fleet of ATMs. I mean, if you think about it, if you can have it run a report for you on, okay, which of the ATMs are going to run out of cash in 72 hours, and it prints you out a report, and those are the X number of ATMs that you're going to load today or tomorrow, because they're going to run out of cash in 3 days. You can, with RMS, you get the fault codes coming off there. You can actually have AI will be able to learn them and say, okay, this one just needs to reboot the ATM. Oh, this one somehow is out of cash. It sends you an email or an alert on that. So I think it's going to be it's all positive for the ATM deployers out there.
I just have a couple more questions for you, 3 to be exact. And let's see what you guys have on this one. What are the most common maintenance mistakes new operators make that end up costing them big? When you get that phone call, I screw it up. I just bought this machine online and I have no idea what I'm doing.
Well, I have a policy. I have a theory that if you can't fix the ATM within 10 minutes, call someone.
There you go.
Because if you've not fixed it in 10 minutes, you're not going to fix it at all. And you need help.
Yeah, and maybe they're not very knowledgeable on figuring out what's the exact issue. They're not using a Voltmeter. The screen is dark. They assume the power supply is bad, so they just buy new power supply and swap it, and the screen is still bad. So they would basically need a voltmeter to check voltage to figure out which part is bad, not just assume it's the power supply.
There you go. Since you brought that up, Nick, the next question is in regards to that. Can you walk us through a real world example where your tech support save an operator a lot of money or downtime.
Well, what are you all thinking about that, Nick? I'm going to save you. So
Go ahead.
the smart safe example was, which I gave earlier, was the example of saving the customer $1,000. Yeah, I think it was more than 1,000 actually. So in those situations, that's we're not part replacers. We try and diagnose the issue, and find out what actually needs to happen. And sometimes it's just minor adjustments. But Nick, now I've covered that one for you. Have you got any other examples?
Yeah, I want to tell you at least half of the lock drill requests we get, we show up and we don't need to even drill the lock. So we get to
There you go.
without drilling it.
Without compromising the actual.
Initially, we try to figure out what's the issue and can we open it without drilling the lock. And I want to say 5 out of 10 we do.
That's pretty good because I know what that cost me here in this market. And if you can just get it open, I can just switch that lock if the lock is giving me an issue. That's pretty good. And from your experience, because I know, Nick, you said that you have 12 years of experience, and Bruce, you probably have more than 20 in this industry, correct?
Yeah, I've been in the industry since 1999. So
there you go.
We don't want to say that number out loud, okay?
It's okay. It's okay. So you deal with operators across the U.S. What separates the most successful ones from the rest? From you, Nick, selling your business, because that's quite a success.
Ask that question again.
What separates the most successful operators from the rest of them?
I think people think that it's a sell and leave business where you can just install your ATM and then it's going to make money for you. Well, that's not going to build a successful business for you. In my opinion, that the most successful ones maintain a great relationship with their customers and have talk to them, interact with them on a regular basis, so that that, because then they know you care about their business because you care about your business. So I think it's the relationships that you build, maintaining your ATM and keeping it clean within the stores. I touched on it earlier, is that there's a lot of dirty ATMs out there, and I look at them and just walk away. I don't want to touch them. But every time you cash load the ATMs, just take an extra couple of minutes and wipe them over. Make sure that obviously use the right materials, but just wipe them down. Get your card reader cleaners out and just clean your card reader out so that your EMV keeps on working. Obviously, it does eventually need replacing, but if you maintain it, it's going to last longer for you. And it's just taking that extra 2 or 3 minutes every time you're at the location, and give the ATM some TLC. So just to put it into maybe a sentence: maintenance, partners, location relationships, and placement. That's what I think makes a successful ATM deployer.
Anything that you want to add?
Yeah. Also, I want to add, I feel like a lot of these new guys don't do any due diligence. Whoever wants a machine, if it's a slow nail salon or smoke shop, they get excited and they put one there right away. And it ends up being a loser, and a few months later, they have us remove that machine. So they need to be a lot more selective, maybe ask for a traffic count, how many daily customers walk in. I want to say if it's less than 100, 150 customers, they should just walk away from that or sell the machine to the merchant.
There you go.
Not place your own machine there.
There you go. Now, I guess I have one more question, since you got real there and told us what to do. What's the craziest or most unexpected repair job you ever had? That phone call or that email saying, "Hey, I need help because this happened." And we'll close with this question. So
crazy
story time.
Can't think of anything too crazy.
Come on, Nick. You know that. I know Bruce has one, probably more than one.
I don't have any crazy stories because I have all my customers doing preventive maintenance, and so there's never an issue.
No, you know what? I guess I would say one. I saw one here in town. It was a bank ATM. I think somebody put a lot of stuff in that ATM that nobody wants to touch, and it was disgusting. And somebody needed to go and get it clean.
Huh.
Yeah, those dirty ATMs are not is
Yeah.
not a good representation. I agree.
And probably like an animal that got burned in a power supply or something like that.
Yeah, we found mice inside dispensers. I don't know if that's crazy or normal.
It could be normal. It could be normal in this industry if you have it in a restaurant.
But did you know mice and rats actually will eat dollar bills if they're hungry?
They will. They will eat anything that is in
Yeah,
front of
so
them.
it's good to keep the ATM. I forgot what you call those opening.
The plastic. So the plastic covers that come on the ATMs,
Those
that where you push the power through, it's always a good idea to keep those on, because that does actually help keep the rodents out. And if you don't have that, I guess you get yourself some wire wool. They don't like wire wool, okay?
Yeah.
So put some wire wool in those holes to keep them out.
That's not for them.
Because they will nest in your ATMs if you in certain parts of in certain areas.
Good. Guys, I thank you for your time. But before I hang up and let you guys go, how do people get a hold of you? And I found your phone number, your 800 number here. So I'm going to give you guys the 800 number at the end.
Yeah,
How do they get a hold of you?
call us or go to or email us at service@atmgeeks.com.
Or
And
you
I
can
found
call us at 844-286-4335, which is 844 ATM Geek.
There you go. Guys, I appreciate your time today. This information, I think it will help existing operators and people that has been in the industry for a while. And it has helped me. So it's great. And again, thank you very much.
Thank you, Franco.
Yes, thank you, Franco. Thank you for having us on. We appreciate it.